Hello, everyone. This is the random podcast of awesomeness. The
Like
one that
Ellen.
we kind of ruined last week, but hey, it's back. This is actually
Rude.
the one that is this of last week's. We are
It's
traveling in time.
It's like a cancer.
So
It just
anyway,
goes back.
here with us we have
Cloud.
Burke.
even when I give you guys an order, you can't do it.
Burke, you're second, you idiot.
Oh, hello, Roy Burger, 163, reporting for duty.
You're at 14, reporting for duty.
I'm here.
I just
And of
remembered,
course me, Shadow
you know
Wolf.
the Voltron? I just remember Voltron.
Shut up, Burke.
And of course
Oh,
me,
Voltron.
Shadow Wolf.
Mhm.
Okay, so we played the game Legend of
Not really.
Zelda Minish Cap. No, not really Minish Cap. We played
Oracle
Oracle
of
of
Skyward Sword.
Ages.
Oh,
Oracle of Ages, which is half of Oracle of Ages and Seasons, as the two games are interconnected.
they combine and they create
Yes.
the shape of a bucket.
Now we only played Ages on this, but we may come back at a later time and play
No,
Seasons
No,
at a much later time.
no,
Much later
No.
time.
no.
Years
Okay.
years now.
So
No.
who wants to tell the story?
I do.
Yes.
I will.
No, shut up, Corb.
I will.
Just anybody but Gerdad. I can't stand his explanations.
Damn
Me
it.
either.
Okay, Cloud, since you like this game, I want you to explain.
Since you're the only one here that likes this game.
All right. This is a very typical Zelda game, except
No, it's unique, okay? Cloud, stop that shit right now. I
uh,
won't have you soil the good name of Zelda.
So continue.
Link is called upon by the Triforce. Is it the Triforce? I can't remember. He's called upon by some forces greater than himself.
Called upon
that
by
he has-
4chan.
That his help is needed in the land
Shall
of
we have a
Labrina,
Triforce?
where the whole game takes place.
Labrina.
Yes.
Labriana, scrubs.
However you want to pronounce it.
His purpose is to stop a great evil from beginning there and taking over the entire world. When he gets there, he is tricked into giving an evil sorceress named Varan access to the Oracle of Ages. Title drop.
By Impa. Impa is mind controlled by. She's mind fucked by the devil, also known as Varan.
And then he got in one little fight and his mom got scared. She said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
So Varan possesses Nehru. Nehru goes back in time. And as everybody knows, when you fuck up the past, you fuck up the future.
And as you know, when you fuck up the past, everybody turns to stone.
Yes, exactly. So it is Link's duty to travel through
To beat
time
bitches and get money.
and space.
Wait.
And
Can
other
you tell
space.
me, does he travel through time with a souped-up Ferrari?
Oh, he should, but he doesn't.
Oh, this game
He
sucks,
travels
man.
with the power of music, which is another reason why I like this game.
Yes,
It's not
Bill
a
and Ted would
Ferrari. I
love
don't
it
give a
too.
fuck.
Bill and Ted would love this game.
Yes, they would.
Who the fuck is Bill and Ted?
I don't
Oh,
know.
you're too young to know, Corb.
Too young. I'm a
What are you
year
talking
younger
about?
than you. Shut your mouth.
Too
What
young
are
to
you talking
know.
about? I'm 10 years older than you, Gerda.
And you don't know who Bill and Ted are?
I'm a shut-in.
So this is a little
Okay.
besides the point. So let's see here.
There's no point.
Let's talk about the gameplay.
All right,
Press
gameplay.
speed. Press speed to sing.
No,
swing sword.
Corp, stop it. Stop it right now, okay? The gameplay in Legend of
Oh,
Zelda
God.
in
I just know
Oracle of Ages is very, very unique. You have the B button, which is your press B to win button, your sword. Then you have other buttons that do a lot of things, like the A button toggles the rocket launcher, which you use to kill enemies and rocket jump through levels.
Since
And
when did
I-
Link become a crazy rocket jumper?
Since last
Fuck you,
week.
that's one.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Continuing
Alright, you wanna
on.
take this, Gerdat? You wanna talk about the gameplay, Gerdat?
Sure.
The gameplay? You wanna talk about it?
Yes, I do. As Burke and Cord both mentioned, you will mainly use your B button to swing your sword. However, throughout the game, you'll be able to switch your B and A buttons around to have different items. Using these items has various different effects, and these effects will assist you in when completing puzzles, going throughout the game, slaughtering your enemies in masses, and of course gathering rupees.
Yeah, Link's like kind of a homicidal kid.
Yes, Link is a murderous, thieving bastard. We know.
Yes, he
Actually,
is.
this is, now that I think about it, this is one of the only Legend of Zelda games where Link spends the entire game as a kid. Besides, unless Wind Waker counts. Does Wind Waker count?
Well,
Is that
there
How
is
about
like
the original Zelda?
Wind Waker's not an actual game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
off of Ocarina of Time, it kind of splits into two lines where Link is a kid and Link is an
Then where
adult.
he's an adult.
Then he goes back in time and turns into a kid again.
The kid version, it branches out to Majora's Mask and then Wind Waker.
Well, yeah,
and,
if you remember Majora's
And
Mask.
Minish Cap.
no, yeah. Well,
Minish Cap, yeah.
Minish Cap is actually believed to be the first game, like the chronologically the first.
Even though, as we all know, the whole chronological Legend of Zelda is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
As
There is
well
no
as
actual
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
Yeah.
Which I have, and I played approximately 5 seconds of it.
But you got those, and then the adult line goes to Twilight Princess, and then Skyward Sword.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah,
Well,
so there we go.
2000, 2001 we're talking about, when the Game Boy Color was still, was it
Fresh.
fresh? Yeah, we'll put it that way. This was like around the same time that the Game Boy Advance came out, I think.
Yeah.
So
Just
So
a
it was
little
like
bit
a-
after, actually.
So it was a very late game in that system's lifespan,
Yes.
relatively late, but it
which
was
is
the
probably
first.
better, honestly, because as we've seen with Kirby always closes out a console's lifespan, and usually those games are really take advantage of the hardware.
Yep.
But this isn't a Kirby podcast, so let's go back to it, guys.
The random podcast of Kirby.
So,
Kirby.
random podcast of Kirby. So, continuing off of gameplay, you get items throughout the game, which help you help assist you through.
In murdering more people.
Yes,
Basically.
that too, but it helps you get through puzzles and such.
And traversing the map.
Yes,
Yes.
such as one of the more interesting items of the game, the switch hook, which we will be talking about.
Yes.
The Switch Hook.
So a lot of the things you be getting in the game is follows still the formula where you go traverse a dungeon, you'll get an item in the dungeon, and later on that item becomes very important.
Kind of.
Either in the boss fight or just the
Yeah, kind of like that actually.
passing through the dungeons.
So to make sense of things, let's talk about the items next.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, despite Corbin Burke not liking a lot of the item selection in this game, I personally love the item collection in this game.
I don't think we really mind item selection.
It's not that good. It was just like it's not as
Too
different
soon.
as you really
Too
think.
soon. It's just too soon. My heart's not ready to yield to another Zelda game.
All right. Let's see. In as Burke mentioned, you go into a dungeon. You manage to get the dungeon item, and then you use
fuck
that
shit
dungeon
up.
item in order to actually either defeat the boss or progress to the next dungeon. Usually,
Or the minimum
What do you mean,
feature in this game is you
or?
No. Good that means is or you befriend the dungeon's boss, and you become his friend, and that is another way you
Shut up, Burke.
That would be interesting, but no.
Oh, come on! I would love to see I'd love to see Link riding around on King Dodongo.
Oh, that would
That'd
be
be
kind of
kinda
cool.
The dongle.
Link running on
Nevertheless,
Ganon's
the
back.
item selection.
All right. After clearing your first dungeon, which is the Spirit's Grave, you will be awarded with the Power Bracelet, one of the most gimmicky items in the game because unlike in the rest of the
not
Zelda
a passive
franchise,
item.
it's
Yeah.
not an accessory.
Why
Yep.
don't we?
You always have to equip it.
Do you think it's fair to I mean, I think it's very fair to compare this game to Link's Awakening, which is the two-dimensional predecessor to this game. And a lot of the items were just ported over to Oracle of Ages now that
Well, to
came
be
about.
fair, Well, to be fair, a lot of items in the Zelda universe have been staples throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
Yes, like the power bracelet and the
Like
boomerang.
Power Places on Ocarina of Time, we had that.
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
And
you
Link
don't have
to
to
the Past.
you didn't have to equip it. You just got it, and then boom, it's there.
Yeah, and that's how it is a majority of the games. The power bracelet, for some reason, is not an accessory in this game. So in order to actually use it and use its powers, you have to keep equipping it and re-equipping it. And
I mean, I can understand it in some way, just because if I don't know, I try to justify it in my mind, and the only thing I can really think about it, if I was a developer, is well, if we make this into an item where they have to equip it, it kind of fleshes out the gameplay a little bit more, just because there's always that you have to look around and you have to try different items equipped to progress through the dungeon. But at the same time, I'm thinking that's just frustrating and annoying, and there's really no reason for it, because frankly, all the puzzles that require a power bracelet are so stupid and simple. It could have easily just been, okay, I just pick this up and move this out of the way, and I continue on.
Yes. Yes, the power bracelet's need for re-equipping is its real only downside.
Right.
Otherwise, it functions exactly as it did in the other games that it makes appearances in. Links
Which
to the
is
Past,
pretty much
Link
every
to Link.
other Zelda game.
What it does is it becomes the most broken item when equipped with the pots.
Yeah, kind of.
Because as you
Yeah.
don't know,
Pots,
triple
you see,
triple kills with pots is just ridiculous.
Yeah, you see, pots still do 2 points of damage, whereas your sword starts off only doing 1. So you want an easy way to kill most enemies? Throw a large pot at them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
kind of.
Yes.
All right, and in the second dungeon, you are awarded with the Roc's Feather.
No. Do we really have to go through it dungeon by dungeon?
yes,
We don't have
because-
to.
No,
Why don't we just run down the list of all the items that are in the game?
All
There's Power Bracelet, Rock's Feather, what's
Seed
in the
Shooter.
third dungeon? Seed Shooter,
Switch Hook.
Switch Hook, the Cane of
Cane of Samaria.
Cane of Samaria,
Hammer.
the Mermaid Suit, the Switch Hook level 2, and the Power Bracelet level 2. So basically there are only 6 items.
Yes,
Five.
there are only
Five. There are only
There-
5 different equipable items in this game.
Don't forget to
Feathers.
mention the harp.
Yes, the harp.
Well, the ones that you get from dungeons anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro.
Not to mention
The
you can
can-
equip bombs.
The only thing that's new would be the Switch Hook and the Cane of the Cane of Samaria. That's
Not new.
that's an obvious nod from A Link to the Past,
Right.
but it hasn't been seen on the Game Boy Color games until Oracle of Ages. The Switch Hook is completely new, and I think it's actually an interesting concept.
Wait, is the suit of whatever the feathers that makes you jump?
Yeah, the Roc's Feather.
Right.
Okay.
But you get that anyway.
Yeah, you get
The Rock's
yeah.
Feather, the Rock's Feather, Power Bracelet, and
Rock Feather's kind of cool, actually.
yeah, it is cool. It lets you
I
jump.
don't think the Roc's Feather premiered in this game, though. I really
No, it premiered in Link's Awakening.
Okay.
Yep.
So in that regard, it's a bit disappointing that they didn't really expand too much, but they did expand on the item variety.
Yes,
in this game.
there was definite expansion there.
The Switch Hook is pretty cool. Gerda, do you like the Switch Hook?
I do, but
Here's the big
actually,
part.
yeah, I don't. My only complaint about the Switch Hook is, unlike the hook shot, it's much cooler cousin. It doesn't have paralysis on its attack. That's my only complaint about the Switch Hook, though.
Cry harder.
Although it will kill some enemies.
Yes, it will kill enemies because it does 1 point of damage, but it doesn't have paralysis.
And we have yet to talk about my favorite item in the game, which is the shovel.
The shovel.
Oh,
Not again.
Here we go. Where's my porn?
Yes, the shovel is ridiculously powerful in this game.
No, it's not. It's good
Yes,
for
it is.
it's good
It's
for
not,
farming
bro.
Literally
rupees. That's
have
all it does. It
Oh,
farms
look,
rupees.
guys, I have rubies in the Zelda.
You have
Zelda
infinite
game.
rupees, fairies,
I can buy a
bombs.
shield for 20 gold, for 20 rubies.
I can buy a heart piece for free.
Cool.
One heart piece in the whole game.
Anyway.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it seems so broken.
We pretty much went over most of the items. We didn't really go over the different seeds with the seed satchel and the seed shooter.
This is true. Now, I personally love the seed satchel and seed shooter because they are incredibly different ways to actually take care of your foes, and they do really cool things. So before entering the second dungeon, even before entering the first dungeon, you will get the seed satchel
from the queen.
Yeah, is it from Queen? No, it's not from Queen Ambi.
She gives you bombs. Sorry, she gives you bombs.
Right.
It's from a ghost.
Yeah, she gives a kid bombs.
Right, you get it from the ghost.
That's nice.
No, wait, no, you don't. You get the lantern from the ghost.
Legend of Zelda, creating terrorists.
What?
Since the 1980s.
No, you do get a seed satchel. You start off with ember seeds. That's because you said torch, or lantern.
Ember waves.
It's actually the ember seeds that you start off with, which you can use to light torches in dungeons.
Yes.
Yes, but who actually gives you the ember seeds though? I forget.
It is.
Wait! I think I remember. I don't.
No, it's kind of it's like one of the fastest problem things that Link has to go through. It's like,
oh yeah, because he has to open a way.
He goes to a ghost in the old graveyard. He's like, I'm a ghost. I need to reach my gravestone so I can go to the afterlife. Push open this grave. Wait, no, that's where the trading game starts because you need.
Yeah, that's the Poe clock.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's not that. I cannot remember where you get the. Does the Maku tree give you the seed satchel?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it might have been the Maku tree.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that stupid tree outside of Lena City. Because I'm pretty sure that's your first encounter with Ember Seeds, but...
Anyway...
Okay. Ember Seeds allow you to burn down obstacles and burn enemies onto fires. And make them on fires. Lots of flames.
Yes, lots of
flames. Because Link is a pyromaniac.
Yes, Link is a pyromaniac. Burn all the things.
Fire.
Burn everything. All the things burned.
They're pretty cool, but even though you're catching your enemies on fire, it doesn't seem to do that much damage, even after the upgrade into the seed shooter.
Yeah, it's pretty useless. I tried it on the boss, and the boss just looked at me and smacked me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was like, baby, don't hurt me no more.
Exactly. The next mystical seed that you'll get are mystery seeds, which their primary use is to activate owl statues that are scattered throughout Lina in order to give you hints and tips on what you're supposed to be doing and how to defeat the dungeon bosses. Pretty cool things, as if you use them on enemies, they will generate one of the 4 other random effects that mystical seeds can do.
Is it worth it?
Not really. Mainly because your sword, by the time that you've got the seed shooter, your sword is usually strong enough to take care of most of the enemies that you'll be fighting, and if you complete the trading game, will be stronger than the seed shooter ever will be again.
And as long as you know what you're doing, you really don't need to use the mystery seeds that much.
Yeah.
Well, the mystery
seeds and the ridiculously painful Tokay trading game, we'll get to it, Corb. You'll be equipped with the scent seeds, which are famous for the recoil abilities with the seed shooter, even though all the seeds recoil except for the gale seed. Yeah.
Huzzah.
And they do the most damage, but they have a secondary effect with the seed satchel, and that's attracting wild monsters to you, which you're supposed to use in order to take down a few enemy rooms.
Yeah, it's a little silly how situational that particular use is. It's really not that useful.
Yeah, it's used twice. Literally, twice.
Yeah.
And the 2 times that you're supposed to use it, you can use bombs.
Now, I want to point out a little joke that the developers put in the game. Is what does a scent seed grow into?
A scent tree.
Oh. That was very clever.
What?
I want to kill all of you.
What?
Wait, what does it grow into? Wait, what?
A scent seed grows into a scent tree.
Oh yeah, and I remember why I hate this game.
I don't fucking get it.
Hey, it's
Shadow,
better.
you would
Like a century.
catch it.
A
You know what? No,
century.
you know what? I mentioned something actually interesting. You guys remember for the listeners, I'm talking to listeners now. Fuck everybody else in this podcast. Listeners or listener. I know you play Majora's Mask, bro. You know that part of Majora's Mask where you go in that little room and there's a guy, his hand going through the bars, and he asks you for paper? Well, it's an Oracle of Ages.
Yes.
Except this guy lives at the bottom of a shitter.
Yes.
Well, he kind of did it in Majora's Mask.
In Majora's Mask, he lived in the inn.
Yeah.
And
Really?
I forget what
And
happens. I don't know. I found that very creepy in Majora's Mask. Then again, that game was also very creepy.
So, do we want to talk about the dungeon design?
No.
But we haven't all the items.
the dungeons.
Oh yes, we haven't.
Like
really,
in
but
what? Are we done
What?
with the items?
we
No.
didn't discuss the rest of the seeds. We'll do that.
All right. The other seeds that you'll find throughout your adventure are Gale seeds, which are pretty much in Link to the Past, where you had the flute and the bird to actually teleport you to different places. The Gale seeds will teleport you to different trees scattered throughout Lina. Mind you, you will have to be in the opposite timeline in order to get to the trees that you want to get to, which is weird, but you know, it works that way.
It's
I
a
guess.
Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the last seed that you'll get is the Pegasus seeds, which work as Pegasus boots in this game by giving you a speed boost for 30 seconds that allows you to jump farther and move ridiculously fast.
I love the Pegasus seeds.
Yes, Pegasus seeds are awesome. They
They're
make a lot of the mini games a lot easier too.
Yes.
or just because, especially on replays of the game, and I have played this game many times. I find that it's refreshing to be able to walk at a faster pace than
Right.
usual.
Unlock assassin.
Not be slave to the very moderately slow pace that Link moves at and goes from screen to screen.
Well, if you're that sick of walking, you can always just summon either Dimitri, Ricky, or Moosh, who we forgot to mention in our podcast
Yes.
last time.
We have a podcast?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Anyway, in Oracle of Ages, another thing that's actually introduced is the Strange Flute, which there are 3 different ways to acquire it, and there are 3 animal buddies that you can find. And they have an effect on one particular area in the game, with the exception of Dimitri. Now, Dimitri is actually, I believe he's a Dodongo, but I could be wrong.
He is a
He's like-
Dodongo.
Well, here's the thing. He's the only Dodongo in history that can swim.
He is a Dodongo. I've read the lore.
Okay.
But seriously, how
So
is
he is a swimming Dodongo.
you, that's how Gurdak. God damn it.
Okay, so this is pretty boring and nobody gives a damn. So let's discuss dungeon design, something people actually somewhat mildly care about.
Okay, so dungeon design.
All right, dungeon design. Like we mentioned earlier, it is your typical Zelda structure. You start out the dungeon, you progress room by room, you pick up keys and unlock into other rooms until you reach that dungeon's items, and that helps you traverse the rest of it. But the thing that makes this a little slightly different is you have mini bosses.
Yes, we do. Lots of them.
Yes.
Yes. And honestly, I kind of like the mini boss fights.
Now, mind you, the mini-boss fights are almost never difficult, but they're definitely fun to play.
Yes.
I think there's like 1, maybe 2 exceptions to that,
Oh,
but
yes.
even then,
I found the second one kind of annoying. Just because if you fell through the floor, it became so annoying to have to go all the way back and then fight him all over again.
Well, if you were smart, you'd stay on the border.
Yeah, well, if I was good, I probably would be stuck in the second dungeon. Now would I?
right.
Anyway.
So-
But as with other Legend of Zelda games, each of these dungeons happens to have particular themes. For example, your first dungeon is the graveyard. And your second dungeon is the one that the wing dungeon actually introduces you to jumping and the need to jump over different passages. pretty cool.
Or if you're like me, just jump around and imagine that Link is a ninja.
Yes, that.
Link
Your
is a
third
ninja.
dungeon. Your third dungeon is pretty much your standard island dungeon. There's a lot of water in here, but it's not so bad.
What?
Yeah, Moonlit Grottos.
Can you repeat that again? Because we didn't care.
Wait,
Okay.
Moonlit Grotto doesn't have any water in it?
Yeah, it does.
I do not recall.
Yeah, because Moonlit Grotto is where you fight Calamari King.
What?
Yeah, you fight.
Pornhub, here I come.
That's a mermaid cave, damn it. What are you talking about?
Because you get the seed shooter in Moonlit Grotto.
Right, listeners.
No,
This is
you
the part where you fast forward 5 minutes.
Because it's just going to be two people going back and forth on...
Especially Gerda, because Gerda never, ever will give up
will
on
admit that he's wrong.
Yes.
Without some specific proof, at least.
I cannot... You fight the hag boss at the end of the third dungeon. The hag. The one that you have to use a seed shooter on to hit her with the ricochet. Remember?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Moving on.
I thought that was Skull Dungeon with this.
You thought wrong.
Dag. I'm getting my boss order confused. Anyway, your fourth dungeon is Skull Dungeon, which is your fire dungeon. And this is where you'll be first introduced to diamond blocks, which you can use with the switch hook in order to switch places with. It's also the dungeon where you'll be getting the switch hook. Pretty awesome item and dungeon all around. There was something that Shadow was saying. Maybe.
Yeah, he probably left this podcast in shame.
Great.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the crown dungeon is the crown theme?
Yeah, the crown dungeon. Let me think. Crown.
In my room.
As far as I can tell, this is supposed to be the castle themed dungeon.
There's a castle theme for dungeons.
Well, yeah, and Link to the Past, it was...
Give me the proof.
Okay, Link to the Past transitional dungeon between Light and Dark Worlds.
Also, Ocarina of Time, they're not really a dungeon, but the courtyard part, where you're trying to find Zelda and sleep with her before...
That's not a
before anybody can find out what you have
That's-
done.
Yeah.
That's more of a mini quest in between.
That's why I said, Gerdite. You troll.
Anyway.
Hey, you
If I had to define the crown dungeon, I'd say it's like your neutralness. It's a beige alert.
I
You're a
suppose.
I guess you can go with that.
Alright, and your next dungeon, Mermaid Cave, is the underwater dungeon. Well, not the underwater dungeon, but it's your main water dungeon. No, it's not even your main water dungeon. But it's the...
God damn it. It introduces the game mechanic that's actually unique to Oracle of Ages, which is being able to fight while underwater.
True.
Innovation.
Innovation.
Mind
Creation.
you, it's not really explored until the next dungeon, but Mermaid Cave also forces you to get one of my least favorite items in the game, the mermaid suit. I hate this POS.
How could you not like an item that basically doubles the amount of space that you get to explore in the game?
The fact that it controls like ass.
It doesn't control like ass.
Yes, it does. The Zora flippers were so much easier to actually maneuver around with.
But you couldn't attack with them.
Yes, you could. You could equip your sword while using the Zora flippers.
But you can't use it.
Flippers,
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. What are you guys talking?
Yes,
you
you
can
can.
use the sword underwater with the Zora flippers.
No, when you dive and you turn into that little blue dot,
You don't turn into a blue dot.
you turn into a...
You turn into red dot.
You turn into a diving Link. Seriously.
Wait, I think I know what you guys are talking about. You're talking about those side-scrolling
Yeah.
Right.
plants where... Yeah, okay, I see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about when he just like dives into a pool of water and he dives under like a passing danger.
Yeah,
Danger,
and since you
danger.
can't use the Zora flippers out where you can get deep enough to actually go that far into water, the mermaid suit acts actually the same way. Huh.
Anyway.
Okay. So yes, the mermaid suit.
I despise this thing. Anyway, moving on to a dungeon I despise. Dungeon 7, Jabu Jabu.
Why are we going to talk about a dungeon?
Because we're talking about dungeons?
Wait. Why are we discussing dungeon from dungeon? We could just discuss the basic points of the game.
Well,
because if God forbid somebody actually listens to this shit, somebody actually might want to play through this game, and we have entirely spoiled everything.
Not really.
How about everything?
How about I ask Gerdat this question because he actually played through the game recently. Not to say that was a cheap shot. I'm just saying that he has more recent experience with the game. I'd like to pose this question to him now. Gerdat, do you find Dungeon 7 or Dungeon 8 more annoying?
Dungeon 7 by far.
As do I.
You see, Dungeon 8 has the benefit of, not being a freaking hellhole. Sure, it's got a lot more puzzles in it than Dungeon 7 has, but Dungeon 7 only has one puzzle, but it's the entire freaking dungeon. You guys remember the water temple from Ocarina of Time? Well, Jabu Jabu is redux of that.
Sort of.
No, not sort of. The only difference is instead of switching to the iron boots, you're trying to get back to the top floor to readjust the water level again.
Which is annoying.
Very annoying. It's a long and tedious path up there. You travel through 10 rooms, like in the space of moving and progressing like 3 rooms every time just to readjust the water level.
Yeah, and it becomes hard to... You kind of lose track of exactly where you made progress because you're exploring the same environment over and over again.
Right.
And if you were...
problems with this dungeon.
And if you were like me, who kind of got confused by that easily, it took me forever to get through Jabu Jabu's belly. I might have even used a walkthrough on that one.
Which is why I think 7 is a lot worse than 8.
Yeah, in all seriousness, if you're going to play 100% through the game, you don't need a walkthrough through most of it, but get a walkthrough for Dungeon 7. It will save you so much time and effort.
And the music's... And the music in Jabu Jabu's belly, because you have to listen to it while you're...
It's only like a 10 or 20 second loop, isn't it?
Well, they're all like
10 or
20-second loops.
Yeah, but Jabu Jabu's is most annoying because you're constantly listening to it because there's nothing else on.
What the fuck is this shit? Somebody's forcing me to hit my buttons? Oh, motherfuckers.
Anyway.
Oh.
But
People
going
calling
on
me
from
during
Jabu Jabu, we have Ancient Tomb, which, despite Cloud not liking Ancient Tomb, I actually had no problem with it, and I thought it was pretty cool. I got frustrated with how incompetent I was throughout it, but it wasn't so bad, really.
I liked Ancient Tomb. It felt appropriate for a last. It was very appropriate for a last level because it was placed. It was placed in the most difficult area of the game to get into.
Right. It's blue centaur thingies.
Yes, blue centaur thingies, and I love the music that plays outside of where you find the Ancient Tomb. It actually makes you feel like you accomplished something.
Right.
Right.
And it's composed in 5, which is my favorite time signature.
Yay!
That's very interesting to know.
Yes. The Ancient Tomb I felt was appropriate. Yes, very appropriate for the final boss, final dungeon. And then,
I swear to God, you mention a final boss and I will kill you where you stand.
No, we're not going to spoil the final boss. I made a vow of that in the last podcast.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, we're not spoiling. We're not spoiling Veron.
Dirt.
We don't want to spoil it.
What? Well, I mean, it's gonna be Varan. She's the villain from the start.
Well, you don't know
you guys don't want to spoil how the boss fight plays out.
Right.
You don't want to spoil it because this isn't a spoiler cast.
Okay, yeah, that would be, that is.
Of course,
I agree with that sentiment. That it is something that you should see for yourself exactly how the boss fight plays out because it is very strange.
Ooh, free to play.
That being said, though,
how
do you feel about the concept behind Black Tower?
The was that to me?
Yes.
Yeah. The concept behind Black Tower. I loved the concept behind the Black Tower. Because it's there for the entire game. You watch it being constructed. You watch it become corrupted and evil. It amps up the tension to when you're actually going to enter this thing and take out the final boss. Mm-hmm. It really is impressive how that works out.
It plays a major role in the game.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts on the Black Tower itself. It's kind of like it goes back to just basic storytelling where you shouldn't throw in, just any random location at the end of the movie and say this is where it's going to be. It should be in a familiar location or something that was already introduced.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas in Oracle of Seasons, you just the final dungeon is inaccessible from the start. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it is. You just have to go there eventually.
Okay.
And it's kind of, in my opinion, that kind of detracted from the atmosphere of the final boss in that game. But that's Oracle of Seasons, which is, in my opinion, it's the lesser of the two in this little duo package of a video game.
Well, it's mostly the same game, except that the ending will be different if you do password things, and yeah.
Right.
That being said, I always felt that the Black Tower as an actual mini dungeon was just too short.
Would you have preferred that it had like a boss key?
Not so much a boss key, but a few more rooms would have been nice.
I felt that. What? So it felt. You think so? It would feel more like Ganon's Tower in Ocarina of Time.
Oh God.
Not sure about that, but I would most certainly would not put it up. I would most certainly not wish it had as many rooms as Ganon's Tower and Link to the Past had.
God.
I hate that dungeon. I hate that.
What, Burke?
What?
You're like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Oh yes, I forgot to mute myself. I was doing something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
yeah.
How about the sound structure of the game? How do you guys feel on that?
The sound structure?
Yeah.
What,
the different tunes that play, the different sound effects that you hear.
Spot on. The sound effects are spot on, and I could write like half a book on my appreciation for the music in this game, or at least maybe like a well read pamphlet.
Yes.
On how I feel about the music in this game. It is awesome. Most of it is. There's some. It sort of like goes for any Legend of Zelda game. Not every tune in the game is a masterpiece, but you'll find a couple good ones.
Yes.
My personal favorite is the Skull Dungeon theme.
Yeah.
And it's a theme that I actually go back to when I want to revisit it, and I find it very refreshing if I go a long time and then I come back to it.
Yeah, it's definitely a Zelda game. You recognize the themes and everything, and quite a few of them are actually from the old games, and you can recognize them. It might be that they did a little remix on it, but you certainly know the song when you hear it.
Hyrule and Wilderness. But yeah, going back to base sound effects, I think that the death of enemy sound effect is actually, I know it's just a minor thing, but I do enjoy it because it definitely sounds final. It sounds like you actually have your sword coated in nitroglycerin.
Yeah, it sounds like you just you slash somebody, they fly away, and then they explode.
Right. It's like, here, have some healthy nitroglycerin into your face.
Boom.
Well, it exploded in Wind Waker, and nobody gave a crap.
Yeah, but did they sound like they exploded in Wind Waker?
They did, in fact, sound like they exploded.
Yes, they did.
Wait, what explodes in Wind Waker?
The enemies.
The enemies.
Explodes.
So
How about the overall graphic style? How do you guys feel about that?
I didn't think we were done with the music, but okay.
Oh, all right.
Done with the music.
Well, do you have something else to add?
I wanted to add that there is quite a few different songs in this game. And like Gerdat mentioned, there are some certain dungeon themes that might get annoying because they seem very short. And they just keep repeating and repeating and repeating.
Rasputin.
But overall, this is very well done for a Game Boy game. Graphics.
Yes, graphics.
It's you become aware that it's very blocky.
It looks amazing.
When you become aware that it's blocky, you can't. It's like something once you see, you can't unsee because it's everywhere.
Try using the shovel. So.
Yes, the shovel.
It's like a step.
Oh god!
It's like a step down from other Zelda games.
It's a two-dimensional game. So that
on the other hand,
bound.
Well, honestly, after playing, since we did a previous Zelda game, as soon as I started playing this, my first thought was, this is a step down.
Right, that's what I was saying.
But again, that's more system limitations. But
yeah,
still,
yes, it is.
But we all think that it could have been at least a little bit better.
I've seen some Game Boy games that honestly look better, just have better art direction, which is kind of surprising to say about a Zelda game.
Of course, I don't know if this is because it's done by Capcom, though.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah, and as opposed to Nintendo being the main producer of this one, it's actually Capcom this time.
I don't think Capcom did Link's Awakening though.
No.
Huh. But it kind of looks the same.
That's probably more to do with the system than the actual development choices.
These are the only two Zelda games that are not published and produced by Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So if we're done with graphics, I need to bring Burke, or at least Cord, back in with talking about side quests.
Oh yes, side quest minigame.
Are you asking me about side quests?
Corb.
What?
We're going back to the Tokyo trading part now. You can come back.
I have nothing to say about that part.
Oh, you know you
Okay,
do.
I'll say it for you. Corb hates the Tokyo trading quest, and for good reason.
Hey, you don't talk about that. You don't talk for Corb, okay?
I will talk for him though if he doesn't want to.
No.
So what is it about the Tokyo trading game that you don't like?
Repetitive.
Repetitive.
Yes, it's very long and it's very repetitive.
Hate that shit, man. Like, I dreaded going to it because I was like,
Especially since where Corb had to restart after he had finished it. I can see where he would have a lot
lots and lots of hatred.
A lot of hatred.
Oh god.
And mind you, that's not the only bad side quest in this particular game. The Goron trading section as well. I personally dislike this one because I was misinformed, and the Goron dance mini game. Dear God, I hate this fucking thing. I challenge anyone to perfect platinum mode. I challenge anyone.
I bet I could do it.
Okay, you do it. You make a video of you doing it and post it on YouTube because I want to see it done. I want to see someone perfect a platinum Gorm dancing minigame. I want to see it done and see if the 400 rupees is actually worth it.
Yes, you should do this for us, Cloud.
Just like Shadow is still supposed to do the Wario Land Aerodent fight.
Yes, I am going to do that.
Eventually.
Anyway,
I'll put it on my to-do list.
There are a plethora of mini and side quests in this game.
But aside of the two that Corb and I equally dislike, they aren't that bad.
No, not for the most part.
Wait, I don't understand. The Toki trading game and the Goron trading game, those are things you have to do. So how's that a side?
But they're mini quests. They're part of the main quest, but they're mini quests.
Okay, mini quests. That's a better word for it.
Yes, side quest isn't really the right term because there's really only one side quest, and that's the trading sequence.
Shit's bullshit though.
Actually, the trading sequence isn't so bad. It's definitely long, but it's supposed to be.
I'd say that, I mean, they have valid reasons for putting those in the game.
Yeah, they do.
So you have to talk to the NPCs.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, that's why you play Zelda.
That's why you play a Zelda game, to talk to the
That's why
NPCs.
most of us play Zelda games, to explore the world, to interact with it, to make
Yes, because the world is so awesome. I get to watch some shitty NPCs say shitty things that I don't care about.
Use
Awesome.
Garen and spin to win.
Speaking of NPCs and side quests, we have not yet talked about one of my favorite interesting characters in the game, Maple, which you run into quite often in the game. The first time you
can force spawn Maple, just so you know.
Oh, you can.
Maple appears once you have killed a certain amount of enemies. I believe right off the bat it's 20. Getting the Maple ring makes it 10. And that particular minigame, why don't you explain it, Cloud?
What?
Why don't you
The
explain
Maple
minigame?
The Maple minigame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spin to win.
Maple sucks at
Shut
flying on a broom, and she will bump into Link if you get in her way. And she drops all kinds of goodies from her bag, and for some reason that gives Link the right to take them if you can get to them first.
He doesn't ask for permission.
If you can get to them first.
Link never asks for permission.
God, my teammates are so stupid.
I don't care about you and your teammates and your try-hard bullshit.
And Gerda, you is it true you get a heart piece from doing that minigame?
No. Yes, Maple has a chance, a relatively small chance, but a chance to drop a heart piece after you run into her.
And
Mind you, if it drops, Pegasus seed yourself and then charge at it with your sword already drawn. Because if you miss it, you have to camp for it again, and I still haven't gotten it.
The mini game, the way it's designed, Maple, because you have to race her to get all the items that she drops. She usually goes for the most valuable item on screen first.
Yeah.
So
right.
if she's closer,
or a ring.
Yeah, if she's closer to it than you are, then you're probably not going to get it.
Right.
You poor thing.
And the thing is, it wasn't that she was closer to it. It was that it fell into a tree, and of course, it was in a double layered tree, so I can't swing my sword to get the damn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Maple, the apprentice witch who sucks at flying.
She
the
beat me
apprentice
at a heart
of
piece.
Syrup, and we all know who Syrup is.
Yes, Syrup is another recurring NPC in these games. She is awesome. She sells magic potions.
Magic potions that are actually relevant to the quest, because you have to buy at least one magic potion in order to beat the game.
Or you can have Maple knock one out.
Yes, that is also true.
I've had both the heart piece and the magic
Hunter's
potion
Lair.
drop from Maple. Oy.
Now, we've discussed mostly everything about the game.
So goodbye, everyone.
What are our overall thoughts on the game?
Lol. Use Garen kill steal kills.
I mean, I was never a stickler for analyzing game mechanics during the time that I played this game. I basically grew up with this game. It came out when I was 10. I was playing it from ages 10 to 14. So yes, I have a history with this game. If I had an opportunity to play it again, I would take it. And thanks to emulation, I have that opportunity. I should probably do that.
Wait, Cloud, hold up. I thought we discussed this already. We do not support emulation on this podcast.
I do.
Gerda, that's why you're not going to be a part of this podcast for very long.
That's why you spin to
How
win
the
for
fuck
that.
am I supposed to play it?
On the system it came out for, bro.
The
Well,
batteries are
win.
dead. You can't save.
Spin to win.
Actually, you can actually buy batteries for Game Boy Advance games and
Yes.
replace them. Well, actually,
Yeah,
all
excuse.
games
You
really.
damn pirate. Goddamn pirate.
Yo ho.
This game definitely deserves to be played and replayed at least once.
That's why you buy a Game Boy, buy this game, buy batteries, and enjoy.
And then
Oh
spin to
look,
win.
$100 or more worth of equipment that you can get for free.
Completely
bought
worth it. Completely worth it to play a Legend of Zelda game unlike any before.
You're supposed to support the company, though. Anyway,
Support Nintendo, lol.
Did my support. I
support
bought it.
Nintendo. Get screwed over. Win games.
Bought it secondhand, but I bought it.
anyway.
All right,
So
whatever.
overall,
Scores. I guess I'll start since all of you are worthless. -5 out of 10.
and why?
Because I don't feel like playing the Zelda game.
And now your real score.
-5 out of 10.
You can't give a negative number.
Yes,
Sure
I
you can.
can.
Most of it, a number between 0 and 10.
Actually, I'll give it a 7.5, which, according to IGN logic is a terrible score.
Lol. Implying IGN gets a say in anything.
It's the only score that's worse than 0.
It is. Have you ever been on the IGN forums? Have you ever been on the IGN forums when they give a 7.5 to a game? They are basically giving that game a 3 out of 10.
Basically.
Anyway.
Just a 7.5 out of 10. That's terrible. I think this game deserves at least a 9.8.
Anyway,
Anyway, you bro.
How about you go next, Gordon?
No.
Well, I've actually played and beaten the game before, and I fucking hate the Tokay part, so I'm gonna take off a point automatically for that. Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5.
So
Fuck
you're
the
giving
Tokay
it a
part.
10 out of 10.
If they were to redo the game and take out the Tokay part, I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10. But
okay,
fuck the Tokay part. Fuck it.
that's reasonable.
It's for
No, it's
bitches and hoes.
Myself, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Damn.
It was.
Just give it away.
Oh, I know, right? I thought it was very well done. There are definitely
Motherfucking
things,
Garen steal my kills.
there are definitely things I do not like about this game. Cough,
Like
cough,
existing.
power bracelet.
Spin to win.
But
Damn it, Prince. Learn
overall,
to
it's very nicely done.
As for me, I'm gonna give this game. I have to go with Shadow and say 8.5 out of 10, mainly
Wow.
because
God damn it.
I liked playing this game. I really did. I enjoyed myself almost all the way throughout it. But Jabu Jabu's belly and the Goron dancing minigame are just so ridiculous.
Well, you screwed yourself on the Goron dancing minigame. That doesn't count.
I'll admit, I did screw myself on it because I thought for sure that I needed
Also,
to
listeners, if you haven't noticed already, Gernet's a
Gernet's
massive
opinion
Nintendo-
doesn't matter.
Yeah, he has terrible opinions. Jesus Christ, he has terrible opinions. He tried to argue with me yesterday that Quake 2 is not a dumb shooter.
I still think it's a smarter shooter than you give it credit for.
Anyway,
Run around, shoot things. Herb,
so
derp.
is everyone gone?
No,
What?
I haven't got it.
Oh, no,
didn't
I
actually give it
I
a
haven't.
number.
I haven't.
Okay.
It's like, how do you rate a game that captured that profoundly captured your attention? Basically through the music, the story, the characters.
A story. What the hell are you smoking?
There's a story.
There's
There's
a
a
I,
story.
I will have you
Yeah,
know.
there's a well-evolving story in this.
Typically,
Who
you say
cares?
I'll
Don't
give it an
stop.
11, but that's because I'm biased. But
No,
anyway,
I do. I mean, in retrospect, based on what you guys are saying.
By the way, guys,
as
check
more-
the mail. By the way, guys, tomorrow check the mail for your Nintendo check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are serious game. You guys are seasoned gamers, so I'm taking your opinion seriously. That
Seasoned.
like, yeah,
All
the
for
game,
free.
the game does have its strong points. It's definitely not perfect, but it
10.5,
it synced up with me somehow, and it became one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had playing a video game.
So
put it that way. So
what you're telling me is, in the sense that Superman 64 captured me, this game captured you and your imagination.
well, yeah, if it captured you,
Anyway.
it captivated me.
Okay.
That's why I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10.
Holy fuck, Cloud.
All right.
So how much money did Nintendo pay you?
Yeah, I know. Seriously, fuck.
They
don't
they
get paid
offered me a good couple $100, but I said
They must
no.
have given you. They must have bought you a goddamn jacuzzi.
Lamborghini or something. God
Fuck.
damn.
Anyway,
Or he actually enjoyed the fucking game.
yeah, I think he enjoyed the game. So, yeah, if anyone is a Zelda fan, and I think they'd probably enjoy this game very much.
No,
Well, so do I. Just get yourself a walkthrough for Jabu Jabu and you're fine.
Shut the fuck up about Jabu Jabu.
No, it needs Jabu
cares?
Jabu Belly needs to die in a fire. That was annoying, and I spent 2 days on it.
Anyway,
Yeah, but that's-
anyway, we're on the 56-minute mark.
And frankly, I want to play Prince of Persia, so fuck this podcast.
So we want to thank you again for listening, and stay tuned for our next podcast.
It'll be worse than this one, guys. Don't worry.
Until next time, this is Shadow Wolf.
Oh, we're doing the reverse order. No, reverse order.
Yes, we are going to do it reversed.
Okay,
I'm
whatever.
Garen, the spin to win master.
I'm Grid F14, the noob.
I am over on Cloud 163.
I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I'm Cloud.
Anyway, and you, Cloud.
Cloud.
What? I already said it. I'm Cloud, the voice of motherfucking
Oh, you're not. I'm
reason.
Cloud.
Okay. Well, thank you for
Fuck.
listening, and
Spin to win.
until next time.
Be safe, guys.
Fuck.
Dimitri.